So. What number is that? It's 13 over 35. Okay, let's go, guys. 13 over 35. We can do it. So, factor. So, we're gonna do the same thing, which is factoring. So, right now, it's getting a little bit complicated, because we ain't got all the stuff and that. So, we ain't got like the same stuff in common. So, you can't really like come and go into easy factoring. So, right now, we'll have to use our brain. Because that's what they have been made for. So we ain't gonna do easy factoring. It's still kind of like easy factoring right now because I already know what I'm gonna use, but I'm gonna show you where I came from with the solution, obviously. So the way that you need to see it is you have three terms. You still have three terms. One called A, one called B, and one called C. A obviously is equal to y squared, b is equal to 7y, and c is equal to 10. That's as simple as it is. It's simple. A is equal to y squared, b is equal to 7y, and c is equal to 10. So that's pretty much like what it is about. So right now, in order to solve it and factor it, so there is a list of solution that you can. There is a list of way that you can actually use so that you can get to the solution. But the way that we're gonna use is factoring because that's what they ask us to do. So we're gonna factor the problem. To do so, we're gonna use a method called AC method. Method, method, yeah, AC method, which is really popular, and that's like the only thing that I'm thinking about right now as I'm sleepy. I'm tripping. So the AC method is so that's pretty much like what you're gonna do for the AC method. So for the AC method, so we're gonna try to find all your terms, right? So A, what's B, and what's C. So you already find everything. You already find those. So A is y squared. Y squared is by itself, doesn't have any numbers, so it's a 1. There is a invisible 1 in front of y squared. B is 7 because there is a 7 in front of the B, is in front of the y, and C is obviously by itself, so it's a positive 10 of 10. So we're gonna rewrite it. So we have A, B, C, Jesus, A, B, C, A which is equal to 1, B is equal to 7, and C is equal to 10. That's the same thing as y squared, 7y, and plus 10. Same thing as nothing changed. Just make it very much more clear for us. Gonna get rid of that. Put that a little bit. Or just. So we're gonna use something called the AC method. And the way that it works is by doing the following. So you take A by C, which is 10, and B. So that's what you're gonna deal with, which is equal to 7. So the AC method is, so you do the AC method by multiplying the first term by the last term, which is A by C, but you need to put them in order because they might get mixed up sometimes, or they might give it to you already mixed up, so you'll have to put it in order. So AC method, so to do the AC method, Jesus, don't freak me out because I didn't thought that was the thing. To do the AC method, so for 1, multiply A by C. 2, get value of B. Once you'll be done multiplying a by c, you will get value of b. So you'll be able to apply the AC method. So in our case, a by c is equal to 10, which is 1 by 10, and b is equal to 7. So right now, the last step is draw your x. So the x will help you find the solution or the numbers that you're going to use in order to factor the problem. So let's go. The top of the x will be where the AC or the value of a by c will be situated at the top of the x. At the bottom of the x, so we'll get the b, which is the middle value of b, or value of the middle term, because b is the middle term of the equation. And then those values are going to be the numbers that you'll use in order to factor the equation that you have. So we're gonna review the anatomy. Oh Jesus Christ! We're gonna review. So we're gonna review the AC method. So the first thing that you need to do is multiply the a by the c. So the first term, which is the a, you multiply it by the last term, the c, and then once you have it, right, so we get the value of b. So you won't have to do any mathematical operation to get the value of b, because the value of b will be provided to you. So you just get the value of b, you do your line, you do your cross, your x, if you want to call it x. So you put the AC value at the top, you put the b at the bottom, and then the numbers that will be on the sides are going to be the numbers that you're going to use to factor or factoring. There you go. So we're going to start right now. Actually get into it instead of all the talking and playing and talking. So we're going to get into it right now. So we have the value of AC, which is 10, and the value of B, which is 7. Let's go, we ain't got no time for that. B, which is 7. So AC method, so AC will be at the top, 10, and B will be 7. So the question that you need to ask yourself is, what numbers, when I multiply them, will give me 10 when you multiply, and when you add them, so it's going to be 7. So the question that you need to ask yourself again is, what numbers, when I multiply them, it's gonna give me 10, and when I add them together, it's gonna be 7. The only numbers that I can think about right now is 5 and 2. So we're gonna put 5 and 2. So 5 and 2, when you multiply 5 by 2, it's gonna give you 10, and when you add them together, so it's gonna be 7. So those are the numbers that you're gonna use to factor the equation that you have. So those are gonna be the number that you're gonna use in order to get your solutions, 5 and 2. So you can write it this way: parentheses, open parentheses, and close parentheses. So we're gonna put the right on each parentheses, because we have y squared, and the only way that we can have y squared is by multiplying the y twice. And we're gonna put the plus 2 and the plus 5. Those are the numbers that we got from the AC method. So if we try to expand or maybe develop the two terms, so we should get the original column that we started with, which is the y squared plus 7y plus 10. That's what we're gonna do right now. So it's gonna be y by y plus 5 plus 2 by y plus 5. You're verifying it. y squared plus 5y plus 2y plus 10, which is equal to y squared plus 10y plus 10. And this plus 7, sorry, that was a mistake, because 5 plus 2 is equal to 7, not 10. So this is the number that we started with. Oh, finally it came back. So this is the number that we started with, not the number, the equation that we started with, which is the y squared plus 7y plus 10. And that's the factor form of the equation, if you can call it like that, factor form, or the equation where it's, everything has been factorized. So in order to verify it, you can either distribute everything or to explain the equation, or you just do a method called in and out that my teacher taught me. So let's say, for example, you have your two factors, right? From the AC method, and you want to verify it really quick, so you got no time to actually explain everything. So the way that you can do it is by multiplying the inner, which is going to give you 2y, and multiplying the outer, which is going to give you 5y, and you add them together. So the numbers that you should get should be equal to the middle term or the b term. So if it's not equal to b, if not equal to b, so it just means that the terms and maybe the numbers that you used to factor the equation that you had at the beginning were not the numbers that you should have been using. So yeah, that's the way that you can use in order to check it out. So you multiply the inner, you multiply the outer, you add them together, it should give you the middle term. And if it doesn't give you the middle term, or if you don't give you the middle term, so that just means that you made a mistake, and you have to go all the way up again so that you can get the numbers. So I'm gonna do a little recap. You can use the AC method in order to get the two numbers and factor in the equation. It does work with most equation, I think, but I didn't try it with all possible equation, but that's why I'm not going to say an equation. But you can use the AC method like for most equation, and the way that you do the AC method is by multiplying the a by the c, so which is the first term and the last term, and by getting the value of the b term, which is the middle term. So you get your x, you put the AC value at the top, you put the b value at the bottom, and then you get a number. Once when you multiply, it will give you the AC value, and when you add it, it will give you the b value, which is the middle term. Once you get your number, you factor it, and in order to verify it, you do the in and out method. So you multiply the inner, you multiply the outer, you add them, and it should give you the middle term. And if the inner and the outer doesn't give you the middle term, so that just means the numbers that you choose are not the numbers that you should be using. So take them out or switch them around, because sometimes you just need to switch them around, and whatever happen, try to make it happen. Alright, so I'll see you guys on number 14.